If you are a pig farmer, then you must listen attentively to these 10 commandments of pig farming. Now, if you are a pig farmer, you need these 10 commandments or 10 rules to succeed in pig farming. Now, these rules are necessary, important, and required for you to be able to, make something out of pig farming. Because if you don't apply these rules, trust me, you might end up not achieving what you are meant to achieve in pig farming. So this video is for you. 10 rules or 10 commandments of pig farming. So watch this video to the end. The very first rule of pig farming is that pigs, like you all know, require a lot of water, both for drinking and for swimming in. There's one thing about pigs that you guys must know. Pigs don't have sweat pores. That means that pigs don't sweat. So when their body heats up, it becomes a problem if there is no water around there for them to go and wallow in and cool their body temperature. So this is why pigs are always, people always see pigs as animals that are always going into mud to play with the mud. But in the actual sense, pigs are simply trying to cool their body. So if you want to build your pig farm, you should make provision for where your pigs can wallow, where they can wallow. If you don't have nipple drinkers for the drinking water in your farm, just make sure that where they stay, which is their pen, that you have a section for their drinking water. And now this section for their drinking water, you must change the water there daily, and you must make sure that the water is constantly there. So that's because pigs require a lot of water, because the more they eat, as you all know, pigs eat a lot of food. So the more they are eating, the more they need water to digest what they are eating. Because at the end of the day, if pigs eat and eat and eat and eat and don't see water to digest what they have eaten, it could lead to intestinal twisting, which could become a serious problem. So make sure that your pigs have enough drinking water at all times. It will help your pigs grow better, perform better, and be healthy, and not, have any kind of health issues. Because the more they eat, the more they drink, and the more the food becomes digested properly. The very next rule is, while you are formulating your pig's diets, include a good source of fiber. For example, here in Nigeria, the major source of fiber we use is PKC. The major reason why including a source of fiber into their diet is because you want to make your pigs to eat as much as possible. As you all know, fiber is not really digested by pigs, because pigs are monogastric animals. They have one stomach chamber. So the more they eat that fiber, the more they, take it out of their body, and the more they feel like eating. And you can also use that fiber to save cost of feeding, because fiber, for example, PKC in Nigeria is cheaper than corn, it's cheaper than soya beans, it's even cheaper than the commercially produced feed. So the more you use fiber, the more you reduce the cost of your feeding, and the more you make your pigs to eat more, because the more they eat the fiber, the more they take it out of their body, and the more they eat. So that is basically one of the major reasons why you should include fiber in their diets. But mind you, if your pigs are still little, if they are still growing, limit the quantity of fiber you include in their feeds. Pigs that have grown, for example, on this my farm, the pigs that eat fiber mostly are the ones that are giving birth, are the ones that are matured, or are the ones that are being fattened. The little piglets, the growers, their level of fiber is limited, or sometimes not even included at all. So this is one thing you must know if you're into pig farming. Limit the amount of fiber you give to your little pigs, else they could become stunted, because as you all know, fiber doesn't really have much nutritional content in it. So make sure that you are limiting the level of fiber you include in their feed. It might be cheap, but trust me, it will not give you the results which you require as someone who wants to fatten your pigs as fast as possible. The third rule for you to know as a pig farmer is, you must deworm your pigs regularly, especially the growing ones. If you have growing pigs in your farm, the very major things you should do every month is deworming your animals. For example, on this farm, the growing pigs, that's the piglets, the growers, and the finishers, I deworm them. Okay, the piglets and the growers, I deworm them every month using levamisole. There's a deworming drug called levamisole. You can go to your vet shop and get it. Then for the finishers, I deworm them every 2 months. So that's basically how I deworm on this farm. So if you own pigs, if you have pigs, always deworm them regularly. It will make them to grow faster. When you combine deworming regularly with good feed, good genetics, and of course regular water, and good management, why won't your pigs perform very well? That's the question. Why won't they perform very well? Of course, they will perform very well because you are deworming, you are feeding, and you are giving them all they require for them to grow well. The fourth rule of pig farming is, or the fourth commandment of pig farming is that you must regularly disinfect your farm. You must regularly disinfect your farm. If you own a pig farm, as you all know, pigs tend to, defecate, urinate, and do all sorts of things in their pens. So you must regularly disinfect those pens and even the surroundings. Buy disinfectants and of course spray them around your farm, and this will make your farm to be germ-free, to be bacteria-free, and of course it will limit the way at which your pigs, get sick, and it will basically save you cost. So these are the two reasons why you should always disinfect your farm, to reduce costs and to make sure that your pigs are not getting sick, which will make it to now start spending money on medications, trying to make them to get better and all those other things. So always disinfect your farm and keep your farm neat, and don't allow people to get into your farm. Have biosecurity rules at your farm, and one of those is not allowing people into your farm. If people want to buy pigs, you should have a place for them where they can stay outside the farm. This is why I always tell you guys to sell by kg, because when people come to the farm, I simply tell them this pig weighs this amount. I bring the pig out, weigh it, and they see it from where they are standing, and of course their pigs are taken out to them. They don't have to enter the farm. They don't enter the farm. But a situation whereby you are negotiating with your customers directly, they have to come into the farm and stay here, and you guys are looking at the pig and they're negotiating. Or you can't, unless you have another place outside the farm, you take your pigs to, which is a whole different stress. So sell your pigs by kgs. That's one of the things that will help you if you're a pig farmer. Trust me, it will help you. I know I'm telling you guys this. It will help you guys. The fifth rule is always keep your animal records. And one of the major reasons why you should keep your animal records is so that you can be able to monitor their growth rates and the weights or the kgs they gain after every month. For example, on this farm, when I wean my pigs, the pigs you are seeing on the screen now, they are 1 month. They are 1 month from, they are about 2 days from weaning. They are 2 days from weaning. I weaned them about 2 days ago. So these pigs now, I know when I wean them, and on each pen, I write the dates and wean them down. Now, every month, I come and pick one of the pigs here and weigh. And I'm like, okay, this pig gained 10 kg this month, or this pig gained 15 kg this month, or this pig gained 20 kg this month. So that you can, this is one of the major reasons why you should keep records of your pigs, so that you can easily monitor their age, their weight gain, and every other thing you want to monitor. So that you can also know when it's best for you to serve them. For example, on this farm, I prefer to serve or mate the pigs when they are 8 months, sometimes 7 months, or even sometimes 9, but I prefer 8 months, which is always the best benchmark for serving them, because you have to allow them to experience 2 heat cycles before you now take them to a male so that they can be served. So make sure that you are keeping records of your animals. Now, the sixth rule is, once you wean your pigs, give them feed that is very, very rich in its nutritional content. The major mistake that most farmers make, which is like, which I'll call the genesis of stunted growth in pigs, is when you wean them, you give them fiber. Here in Nigeria, when some farmers wean their pigs, they give their pigs only probably spent grain, cassava waste, and all those other things that are not very nutritious. And they wonder why their pigs are not growing. Your pigs are not growing because you are not giving them feed that is very, very rich in its nutritional content. That's the truth. You have to give your pigs, once you wean them, you give them feeds that are very, very rich. For example, when I wean my pigs, some of them weigh 7 kg, some weigh 6 kg when I do what is called early weaning, when I wean at 4 weeks. But whenever I wean at 5 or 6 weeks, these pigs usually weigh 7 kg or 8 kg. Sometimes, if they did not perform very well, 6.5 kg, but mostly 6 to 8 kg at 6 weeks or 5 weeks. Now, after 1 month of feeding them, I expect these pigs to get to at least 15 kg or more. That's after 1 month of weaning. Why is that so? Because I give them nutritious feeds But assuming I try to, give them feeds that are not rich in nutrients, it becomes a problem. I'm sure that those animals will lose weight instead of gaining weight. So this is one thing you must know as a pig farmer. Once you wean your animals, give them feed that is very, very nutritious and that is very, very, that will make them to grow faster and perform better. The seventh rule or seventh commandment of pig farming is you must keep your animals, your pigs, you must keep their body temperature cool at all times. This is one of the major reasons why you must, if you are building your pig farm, don't cover everywhere. If you can see at my pig farm, it's very, very spacious. There is fresh air coming from every angle. This is because pigs are easily stressed up by heat. Heat can kill a pig. So that is why you have to, if you are constructing your pig pen, you must make room for space, for breeze, for the wind to be coming from all angles at your farm. Don't close everything up, else you're only going to stress your animals, which becomes a problem. The eighth commandment of pig farming is once your pigs show signs of illness, once they show signs of sickness, first thing you have to do is separate them. Because the truth is, you don't want this animal that is sick to start transferring the sickness to other animals in the pen. So the very first thing you have to do is to separate it, and then you start monitoring it, and then you start administering medications to it. So don't say that, okay, let me leave this pig here and start treating it here. No. Sometimes if the other animals notice that it's kind of weak, they might start biting it or start, trying to fight with it on all those stuff. I know that pigs, once pigs are in the pen, they are competing for food, they are competing for water, they are competing for space. So you have to reduce the stress level of that animal by removing it from that environment and keeping it separate so that you can easily monitor it and treat it better. This is one thing you must know if you own pigs or if you are a pig farmer or if you run a pig farm. This is a very, very important rule. Always separate the animals. Once you discover that they have shown signs of being sick or having one illness or the other. The ninth rule of pig farming is before you feed your animals every day, always make sure that you clean up their pens. Don't say that, let me leave my pigs for 2 days, but I will be feeding them. You don't clean the pen for 2 days and you are feeding them. Like, it makes no sense. Your pigs will be open, very, very vulnerable to bacteria, to diseases, and to health problems. So make sure that every morning, before you give your animals any kind of feed or water, you clean their pens up. Every day on this farm, the workers always clean the pens up. And this is before they are being fed for the day. So always make sure that your workers or you clean up your farm every single day before you give your animals feed for that day. The 10th rule or the 10th commandment you may not know about pigs is pigs can die from heat. Yeah, pigs don't have sweat pores, which means if their body temperatures become heated up too much and there is no place where they can lie down or wallow either in mud or in water and cool their body temperature, they could easily die. So pigs just know that heat can kill them because they don't have sweat outlets. For example, as a human being, if I'm sweating, there are sweat pores on my skin that will allow sweat to come out. But for pigs, they don't have such luxuries. So once they are heated up, they can easily die if they don't see any place to put their body into and cool off. So that's basically it on today's video. If you're a pig farmer and you're having one problem or the other at your farm, of course, you can always reach out to me. My phone number is here for you guys, so reach out to me. And if you need the ebook, the pig farming ebook for beginners, of course, I'm always available. So that's basically it on today's video. See you guys in the next video. Thank you, guys.